You probably won't find Netflix's business example even if you look for it. At which time when Netflix started its business, their competitor Blockbuster had 60,000 employees and more than 9,000 stores around the world. When it comes to sales, he used to make $6 billion in a year doing nothing. On the other hand, Netflix, who couldn't even afford a new sofa for his office. Fed up with this situation, Netflix should sell its company to Blockbuster. The CEO of Blockbuster started laughing at this. The date is witness that the Blockbuster which earlier stood in front of her like Dev Kamat Mountain, the same Blockbuster was forced to rub its knees. After a few years later, Netflix erased the Blockbuster name from history, and now it's a $280 billion company. How was all this possible? Once again, welcome in the videos of Informative World Watch. Viewers, this was in 1997 when the trend of internet business was increasing. When Jeff Bezos used Amazon to sell books through the internet, he was getting good progress. Mark Randolph also wanted to start an internet business. But the problem was which business to start. For several months, Mark went anywhere, carry a notebook with him. He would write new business ideas in it. And then he shares the ideas with his friend Reed Hastings. Mark had countless ideas from selling pet food to baseball bats on the internet. But Reed Hastings did not like any of these ideas. Reed wanted to start an internet business that would require finding a customer once, and then making money from that customer over and over again. This process of sharing ideas continued for many months, but then finally both of them found a solution, that are videotapes. Viewers, videotapes were the only source of entertainment at that time. People would go to their nearest Blockbuster store on weekends, spend hours selecting a movie of their choice, and then rent it, and if the videotape was not returned on time, they were fined. At the time when he came up with this idea, Reed Hastings was fined $40, which he had to pay to Blockbuster for returning the videotape late. Reed believed that there was a dire need for change in this industry, and the idea of renting movies on the internet would definitely work. But the problem was that each videotape was very heavy, and posting it could be very costly, and apart from the loss of tapes breaking during postage, this was a big issue. So now Mark and Reed saw their new internet business failing before it even got started. After a few weeks, they first learned about DVD technology through a tech magazine. It was much lighter and cheaper than videotape, and posting could read pretty cheap too. Reed Hastings thought that instead of videotapes, if the movies were put on DVDs and given on rent, it would be more profitable. And this is where the idea of Netflix started. Their business model was very simple. They will display a huge collection of DVDs on their website, and whenever an order comes in, within 2 days, DVD will reach his doorstep. A prepaid return envelope was also kept in the same envelope. This will also make it easier to post the DVD back to the company. The idea was simple, but to start it, money was needed, and both Mark and Reed did not have this investment. Somehow, they set up a small, low-budget office, in which they bought cheap folding tables and second-hand furniture, and gave low salaries to the employees, with the promise that if the business went well, then they would be given shares in the business. This small Netflix team built a website over the next few months and began buying DVDs. Finally, after months of hard work, they were ready to launch Netflix for the first time. Before the launch, he lined up interviews with news outlets so that he would also get a lot of media coverage at the launch. 29th August 1997. At exactly 9 in the morning, they made the website public and also installed a bell that would ring for every new order. The first order was placed by Mark himself, and the bell started ringing for the first time. After 1 minute, the bell rang again, and this time it was a real customer. The Netflix team anonymously posted comments on various internet forums. On this, he introduced Netflix's DVD service, and from which more movies fans visited Netflix. The bell rang continuously for the first 15 minutes. But then the Netflix website will crash. In those days, servers were kept in offices, not hosted by a professional hosting service. it was probably that the Netflix server could not handle much traffic. That means they should have installed more servers. At the same time, 8 new servers were ordered from the local store, and the website went live once again. In first day, 137 orders were received by Netflix, which was much more than he expected. And because the website was down for several hours due to heavy load, that means in reality the orders were even more than this. They needed to solve the issues of their website so that it does not crash again and again. Netflix had a pretty good first month, but things didn't go as Mark and Reed had imagined, because their first month's sales were $94,000. Sales of DVD rentals are only $1,000. Most people were not renting DVDs but wanted to buy the entire DVD directly. They had given both options to the customers to either purchase the DVD for $25 or rent it for $4. Mark and Reed wanted their rentals and rent kits. More people should use the service because with this, the same DVD will be rented again and again, and as long as it is not damaged, their profit will continue. They knew very well that initially they were able to sell DVDs only because of this, because there is no other competitor in the market. A few weeks later, he got a call from Jeff Bezos of Amazon. Jeff Bezos, who had already established himself in the online book market, they now wanted to capture the DVD market as well. Jeff Bezos wanted to buy Netflix, by which they will get DVDs running business. But Mark and Reed actually wanted to rent DVDs and not sell them. So the Netflix DVD selling part shared with Amazon, and in turn, if someone wants to rent a DVD on Amazon, they will be sent to Netflix. On the one hand, it had the advantage of distance, while the disadvantage of proximity, because the Netflix portion that was earning them gave them to Amazon. Even if they don't give it to Amazon, so they set up his own new business, which would go into direct Netflix competition. Now Mark and Reed put their full focus on renting out DVDs. He started a promotional campaign, but it failed miserably. Netflix contacted well-known DVD manufacturers such as Toshiba and Sony, and deal with them. The deal was that any customer would buy their DVD player. He would be given a coupon code with which he could pay. You will be able to rent 10 free DVDs. But this promotion failed because the coupon codes on DVD players were pasted not inside the box but outside the box. That is, even if someone does not buy a DVD player, they can view the Netflix code from outside board. In its early days, Netflix had to give away a lot of DVDs for free. And from above these new customers, only 5% become Netflix regular customer. That is, it is a huge loss. And from above, the deal with Amazon in it, they were sending DVDs buyers to Amazon, but very few customers were coming to Netflix from Amazon to rent DVDs. Then there was an incident in American politics that Netflix was able to capture perfectly. But something like that happened here too. But Netflix had no idea. At that time, the American President Bill Clinton fell into a love affair with a White House intern, Monica, and the secret of this story was revealed. Hearings were going on in the court regarding this matter, where Bill Clinton's affair was proved and Bill Clinton was removed from the presidency. At that time, the whole of America was searching for the video of this court trial. Netflix wanted to take advantage of the opportunity and posted the video of the trial on its website. The arrow hit the right target and Netflix got unlimited orders. But the problem happened. The company that was right this video in DVD, the same company was also working on adult movies, and by mistake they write adult video in DVD instead of the trial video, and said to Netflix, sent all these DVDs to its customer without checking. When the matter came to light, Netflix apologized to all its customers. But by then the damage was done. As much as this promotion was thought to be a benefit, instead of a benefit, the loss was more. Until now, Netflix's DVD rental idea was not making money, and every one of their promotional campaigns was a total flop. At that moment, an idea came to Mark's mind, an idea that was going to change everything. Even Netflix was doing exactly the same thing Blockbuster was doing. They also give DVD on rent. The only difference was the internet, because Blockbuster was doing the same thing through physical stores, Netflix doing through internet. Mark has another idea. Why don't we start a subscription system, in which the customer has to pay monthly fixed amount, and in return they will be given 4 DVDs. This will ensure that the customer will always have 4 DVD, and when he wants, they will be able to return the old ones by taking the new DVD of your own choice. Obviously, this will reduce the late fee pressure on the customer. Fortunately, this idea worked. 90% of the people who saw this promotion subscribed on the very first day. These were the customers for whom Mark and Reed had worked so hard. Netflix's earnings from subscriptions began to grow rapidly, and the same customer started paying them every month. On the other hand, their biggest competitor, operating more than 9,000 physical stores only in terms of late fees, $800 million were received annually. But at that time, Netflix's total sales was $5 million. This is a huge difference. Said to be behind the success of Netflix. So it was its own competitor, Blockbuster. Because if Blockbuster wanted to, it would have easily blown up Netflix as soon as it got up. Blockbuster's cheapness only got him down. Blockbuster taking internet business very lightly. Blockbuster had his own physical stores running. Hence, he did not feel the need for a small internet business. The owners of Netflix knew better. Their business is running only till then. Until Blockbuster also started DVD by mail services. So they made a plan. Why don't we sell running business to Blockbuster? This will also earn them a good amount of money, and would continue to work in the same business. Now he fixed a meeting with the CEO of Blockbuster. First, the CEO of Blockbuster silently listened to his offer and then asked for his demand. Reed Hastings immediately said $50 million. On hearing this, the CEO of Blockbuster started laughing loudly. Mark and Reed had a good idea that it belonged to Blockbuster and he had to leave empty-handed. As time passed, and the Netflix subscription continued to grow, but Blockbuster stood on his own stubbornness. Blockbuster thinks anything like the internet can't go on much. But then, for the first time in 2004, Blockbuster realized slowly their customers are breaking up and sign up on Netflix, where they get the DVD of their choice sitting at home. At this point, Blockbuster started his own DVD by mail service, but it was too late. Netflix took 7 years to understand their customer behavior. Netflix installed such algorithms on its website. The customer would have only the movie shows in which they were interested. But Blockbuster couldn't do it all that fast, even if he wanted to. Back in 2007, when Blockbuster was promoting its DVD by mail service, at the same time, Netflix in the process of launching a video-on-demand service, as there is no hassle of streaming of movies on the internet itself, for example. That is, the cycle of DVD is over. To come directly, watch the movie, and the story is over. It was the first time in the world that any streaming site was doing this. So Netflix started getting customers from all over the world, even outside the US, because they could only post DVDs by mail in the US. On the other hand, Blockbuster was counting his last breaths. He started taking such steps in the big hit which affected his business a lot. Like Netflix removing the late fees, or even removing the rewind fees of a video cassette when a customer returns the videotape without rewinding it. That is, Blockbuster used to charge money for rewinding it for so many years, and same Netflix was engaged in improving its customer experience. Eventually, more customers started signing up on Netflix, and in 2010, Blockbuster went bankrupt, and they filed for bankruptcy. The Blockbuster was too late to replace itself with technology. His billion-dollar empire sank. What Blockbuster actually did is a part of human psychology. When we have a business going, we want it to stay that way and refrain from changing themselves, while any other character takes advantage of it in the same way. It fills the market gap. Something like Nokia Mobile and Kodak Photography, same happened with, they too have not changed themselves with technology. Other companies left them behind. Today, 13,000 Netflix's employees are spread all over the world. The company's valuation is more than $288 crore, and it makes sales of about 19,000 crore dollars annually. That is, the price at which the entire Netflix offered to Blockbuster 380 times more sales than this price Netflix made last year. This is the last Blockbuster store in Oregon. There are one of those stores in those 9,000 stores. All company operator stores were closed. But this last store, until today, would give DVDs on rent. But these people go here, not to buy DVDs, but to go refresh their memories as a tourist spot. Hopefully, I hope you all like and subscribe this channel of Informative World Watch. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next great video.